12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
That's all right, looks good. All right, guys, good afternoon, good evening. It is Friday night. This is Detect America Live. We are live in the barn. And with us, as usual, I have Drew Waholic.
Hey.
Gene, the man.
No.
And Joe the Marco.
Hey.
All right, guys, so we are here live. So, and again, hold on, because
we're good.
Everybody knows the first 3 minutes of the show is us turning volumes down. And okay. So
technology snafu.
We got a interesting show tonight. As most of you know, normally we we save our electrolysis battles and wars, periodically. But it hit the page very, very heavy this week. And I know we do the coin cleaning shows, we do the relic cleaning shows periodically, simply because, and a lot of times, I know it sounds sometimes like we're rehashing stuff, but when we're adding, 1,000 members every couple of months, we get a lot of newcomers to the page. And I understand that, anybody who's been detecting any kind of period of time comes up with their own methods and different kinds of resources to do different kinds of things, cleaning coins, cleaning your relics. And occasionally they're good. And then occasionally we get guys that come on the page, and honest to God, I don't know whether they're joking. I know a lot of them out there know that electrolysis is my button, is my trigger. So I don't know if they're just screwing with me. But when I get into conversations with them and they defend the fact that they want to use Tarnex, or they want to use muriatic acid, or they want to use wire brushes, but only gently use a wire brush on your delicate coins, then I know it's time for us to do this show again and kind of explain the do's and don'ts. So tonight's topic is going to be chemicals, brushes, and current, and what not to do, what to do, what not to do on your coins, and not just coins, guys. Because I got a couple questions that came in specifically about their relics, and some of the advice that they were given, and I'm breathing.
I think
trying to stay calm.
So the Brillo pads that I've been using is bad.
I use a steel wire brush myself. But
I get a grinding wheel.
So sandpaper's no good either.
All right, so
We're just laying it on the ground and beating it with a shovel.
Let's just lay down some real basic foundation for where we stand. First of all, like I say all the time,
Current events would be so much easier.
We are not we are not the coin and relic cleaning police. So if you want to do whatever you want to do, there's no one going to knock on your door and take your detector away. However, when it comes to what you post on the page,
but we might shake our finger at you.
the only line that we draw is we're not going to allow people to post stuff on the page that a newbie. We kind of have to base the rules and regulations that we kind of sort of impose on the page based on someone coming onto the page and being brand spanking new at this hobby, not knowing anything but willing to learn everything. So that's kind of, so when you kind of tell everybody, I dip it in sulfuric acid, it comes out real nice and shiny, that we're probably going to pull that post and explain to the newbies that we don't want. You can't do that.
Well, besides the chemical being caustic.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it. The basic rule of thumb. I mean, sure, there's going to be variations from it. But like I said on the page this week, if the word acid appears anywhere on the label,
don't use it. It's
probably a good rule of thumb not to stick your coins in it. Okay? And I know people are saying vinegar. And vinegar is, and we've been going over this for a year. Vinegar is the most commonly used, let me rephrase that. It's the most commonly misused chemical on coins and relics. it is an acid, guys. It is citric acid. It is an acid. It's stronger than CLR. Okay, you want to clean your shower head? Get some nice strong white vinegar. Do the same thing. It's gonna eat away that lime and that deposit. It's an acid, and what an acid's going to do to metal, it's going to eat away. Yeah, is it going to look clean? It's going to look fantastic. It's going to look great for probably about a week. It's stripping away layers of metal, and the worst thing about vinegar that isn't present in some of the other acids is it's also high in sodium. So now you're not only stripping away any protective patina that coin might have, you are impregnating the surface of that coin with salt. Now, why isn't it? I just dropped my glasses. Why isn't it the same thing for electrolysis? Because electrolysis works from the inside out. Okay, electrolysis is a different animal. We'll get into it later. The salt solution in electrolysis is not impregnating the coin because the coin is expelling molecules, but that's something different. Yeah, I got them. I dropped my glasses. I can't see now.
As you hit the mouse and shut the camera off.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least. So that's just the first basic rule of thumb. And the guys around this table, most of these guys around this table are, they're versed in electrolysis, and I get bitched at because everybody seems to think that I'm trying to push electrolysis on everybody. That's just not the case, guys. Electrolysis is not for every coin. Is not for every coin. Now, Drew just showed me a coin. Where's that half cent, Drew? All right. Now, Drew just showed me this. It's a beautiful 1825 half penny. And guys who are experienced to see this coin know, just by the detail that's on it, this is a coin that would never be touched. I wouldn't touch anything about this coin. But we have guys on this page, we have guys on other pages that instantly want to bring the color of this coin back to what it was originally. And even though it can be done, this is what an 1825 almost perfect condition coin is supposed to look like. So just because the color isn't shiny like a penny today, it doesn't mean you have to make it that way. You would kill the value if you brought the color of this coin back to original. You don't want to touch a coin like this. So not every single coin, just because it's not, the original color, is a candidate for electrolysis. It's not a candidate for any kind of cleaning at this point. It's a beautiful coin, and you shouldn't touch it.
Actually, I thought it'd be fun to spend $190 on a coin so we could just crack it out of the slab.
Listen, if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it. I'll play with it. Yeah, I'll be happy to see what we can do. I've destroyed plenty of good coins over the years.
Maybe we could turn this XF45 into an AU50.
Yeah, almost AC, almost a coin. So we'll get. So if you have questions tonight, guys, please don't be. For those who are literally trying to bust our hump a little bit on the page, don't bother. But if you guys have a legitimate question about the stuff that's come up on the page this week about chemicals, about electrolysis, the phones are open all night for you, 856-899-5180. Give us a call, and we'll do our best to answer the questions for you. But in the interim here, we do have a couple of questions that came in on the page after the amazingly ridiculous post that I wind up pulling it down. And did you ever find out that I pull Wayne's down? Was it Wayne? Was it me?
No, I don't know who did, how it happened, what happened. I mean,
if it was attached to that post, I apologize to Wayne because I probably pulled it down because I pulled the whole post down.
I'm the guilty one here.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I didn't like what was being said, so I yanked it, and I didn't realize the video was there. I do apologize.
And you know what, too? That's another thing, guys. A lot of times, very, very good posts, very innocent posts, wind up getting yanked because the conversation surrounding them gets out of hand, and we don't. So we'll pull the whole, and we apologize to those who are very innocently, hurt by us pulling the post down, but it's definitely for others that post stuff along the line.
The greater good.
Yeah, did I just kill the video? Or no?
No.
Okay. So we did get a couple questions that come in today. So let me look through here real quick and see.
Just a moment, Frank.
But
flip it up to the phone number.
Phone number up. So people can see it and call us.
If I had that, I'd do that.
There it is. 856-899-5180.
And as usual, we will have a couple of goodies going out the door tonight. So don't call. We're not giving away just yet. Call if you have a question about coin cleaning and so let me find the one in particular. Well, let's start right off the bat. This is a newbie, brand new to the hobby. He's got himself
a call.
Let's see the call. Let's take the call. Don't worry, we'll get to the questions, I promise.
Welcome, caller.
Hello. Talk about putting stuff in a rock tumbler because that's what I got.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question right off the bat. What are you tumbling in your rock tumbler? Because a rock tumbler can be very good for certain things. But what are you tumbling?
I like coins that I find just to clean them.
Okay.
With walnut shells.
Well, and you're right off the bat. You're doing good with the walnut shells. However, here's the problem. If you're talking about clad coins, if you're stuff that's not really super valuable, and you're just cleaning them so they'll go through the coin machine, that's fine. You're not going to hurt it. But if you're talking about coins that are potentially have some historic value to them, the rock tumbler is the absolute last thing you want to use, because you're banging these coins or buttons or artifacts against a medium. They're hitting it with an impact. They're rubbing against each other, and they're becoming clean because of that friction. So that's why you don't use a rock tumbler for something that could be historically significant, valuable. You never want to do old coins in a rock tumbler. But your newer stuff, it's fine. I do it, or I throw them in the clothes washer. I did a video about the clothes washer.
Good example, 1877 Indian head. You don't want to put that in a tumbler.
Exactly.
But if you don't know that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. If you have to have some kind of knowledge of what you're tumbling. But
Alrighty.
But that's why we kind of avoid rock tumbling for the older stuff.
All right. Thank you.
Great. No problem.
Bye-bye.
So
thanks for the call.
So one of the questions came in, and this is, you'll tell by the question, it's an absolute newbie, and it's great because he's asking a legitimate question. He doesn't understand the whole difficulty with coin cleaning. He doesn't understand the controversy between all the different types of coin cleaning because he just went to the store, bought a bottle of Tarnex, and when he dips a coin in Tarnex, it comes out beautiful. So what's all the controversy between electrolysis versus soap and water versus tumbling versus whatever? And it comes right back to what we started with. And I think Tarnex is mild sulfuric acid.
Yeah, it is.
It's becoming shiny because you're peeling away layers of metal. You're peeling away the patina that's on it, and the for lack of a better term, the epidural layer of the coin, the top layers of metal. If you dip any coin, you dip it in any solution at all, and it comes out shiny, it's not the solution to be cleaning your coins with. Okay, it's acidic, it's chewing up, and what's going to happen is what people don't realize, especially with that product, is once you clean a coin that way, the tarnish and the damage will now come twice as fast and twice as heavy. Once you take away the protective layer, then it's going to come even worse for you. So Tarnex is absolute no. I wouldn't even use it on clad. Just ask anybody in your family who's ever polished silverware using Tarnex, and comes out beautiful, and it works right through Thanksgiving dinner, and then the day after Thanksgiving it's black or green or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so Tarnex is pretty much a no. It's acid in any way, shape, or form you want to avoid using on your coins or on your relics.
If you plan on keeping it.
Yeah, if you plan on keeping it.
Yep.
If you just want to experiment, then it's fine.
Yeah.
So I want to get that one out of the way. But that was a good question because this kid honestly didn't know. I mean, that's what he was doing. He's brand new to it. He's trying to learn, and now you know.
Well, I'll be the first to say that before I knew about electrolysis, I was using ketchup. I was using lemon juice.
Right.
I was using all these things that had an acid base to them, but were natural acids.
And they're not as bad. They're not as bad because they're not as intense. Mm-hmm. But drop a coin. Take a penny. Just take a Wheatie. Drop it in lemon juice. Forget about it, and you'll see it'll come out orange, come out bright yellow. And that's because over a period of time, it impregnates the metal, and that chemical change is difficult to arrest. It's difficult to change back. Not that it can't be done, but it's not easy to do. So just be aware of acids in there, and there's some chemical. I'm sure there's coin chemicals out there that you can use.
I would like to add this: as far as the lemon juice goes,
right?
If you get a piece of old glass, like if you dig an old bottle, and it has that sickness we call it, where it's flaking off and it's like opalescent,
right?
And that is the mineralization from the ground. Now, this is going to sound totally disgusting, but it works. If
I
you
know this.
soak the bottle in lemon juice and piss,
I knew he was going to say that.
it
Ammonia
will.
in your urine.
It will.
Urine.
Yep. It will take the sickness out of the glass and get rid of that. And
Now,
it's
for argument's sake, can we use, let's say, lemon juice and ammonia out of a bottle that I didn't urinate into a jar? And I know it's not as much fun, but
it is something with the uric acid
Yeah.
that reacts with that mineralization and it breaks it down.
It cleans it.
So I mean, you're handling it. It's
You know,
your own.
right.
It's not like I'm
you're not
asking
allowed
Joe.
to wash my sports bottles at all on this trip coming
I
up.
think it would be a good idea.
I'd appreciate if you didn't even touch them while we're away.
You can always. No,
And that, now, isn't there something
else?
else you do for this bottle too? You put something, I don't know if it's not, I want to say marbles. You put something hard in it and you shake it around.
You don't want to. Well, you don't want to put anything hard in there because, say, if you get a real thin piece of glass,
Right.
like the Civil War period thin medicine bottles, if you put something hard in there, like even copper BBs,
Right.
you're going to
break.
shatter the glass. No, there's no question about it. What you can get is you can get the plastic ones, and the plastic ones. There's actually tumblers specifically
Right.
made.
That I've seen. To hold the bottle.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, any of you guys out there, let me just preface this by saying, any of you guys out there that heard this cleaning method and are going to do a video, we want the video done below the waist. just so you know, we're not going to put up Tuesday Night Live. Is not going to have any X-rated videos coming up on it.
No.
But yeah, that's cool because that's the kind of stuff that makes sense because it does have, and it's not a coin. So I'm not uric acid. Do you pee on your coins? I don't think.
No,
I'm the same with that.
No,
he spits on his coins.
I do spit on my coins sometimes when they're real mucky and I don't have any water. I'll spit on it.
Exactly. You're trying to take the surface mud off. And remember, these are coins that came out of the ground to begin with. So you're not going to get brilliant uncirculated coins coming out of the ground.
Yeah. Well, let me throw this out there. What do you do when you dig a coin out of the ground and it comes out wet and starts turning chalky green?
If I don't have electrolysis unit, it goes back in a pile of dirt. I'll put it back in the dirt, close it up, and until I can get home and I can zap the coin.
Because I know that's probably a question a lot of new people have. I'm digging these coins, I'm throwing them in my pouch. They're turning a light green on me before I get home, and the date pops off of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing because these as our buddy Howard Hewitt would say when you pull something out of its situation, when you're pulling it out of its natural environment, a lot of cool things, not necessarily cool things, but a lot of things can happen to it, and a lot of these, especially I've seen it with more relics. I have seen it with the coins too, but especially relics that are thinner metal, when they hit that air, man, the transition is immediate, and you start to see you'll see the breakdown from the time you put it in your pouch to the time you go back to your truck.
Frank, I've had large scents that I've dug out of the ground, and I watched them go from brown to green while I was holding it in my hand.
Even with down in Hanover, we were digging mini balls, and I pulled musket balls out of the ground that were red. They were, from whatever was in the ground, happened to be around it, and then in your hand they turn to white, and some of them turn to black if they have whatever the natural composite is on the outside. If it has bone meal or has something natural around it and it froze, it'll turn black in
the
here.
last time I went metal detecting dirt fishing with Brady Jones, we were in Mays Landing at a place that I like to hunt. And I dug out a 75 caliber musket ball fired from a Brown Bess rifle.
Right.
And it too was brown. And I actually watched it get that white powdery residue on it.
And it seems that the ones that I see turn like that are usually the Revolutionary War ones. They've been in the ground long enough.
Or pre-revolutionary.
Colonial era.
From a historian that I spoke to and an archaeologist, I spoke about that ball because I didn't know what it was when I found it. I thought it was maybe a 58 caliber.
Right.
But it was too big. And I showed it to them. They go, no, that was fired from a Brown Bess.
Yeah, sure, Brown. And they're what, 70 something?
They said it was pre-colonial as old as it was.
I mean, 70 caliber. What was
75
caliber? 75 caliber.
75 caliber.
Okay,
They weighed it, they measured it, they said, yeah, it's a musket.
Wow, that's cool.
Back to what do you do? I can tell you, I take a pill bottle, and I'll pack the coin in there with dirt around it from the hole. Wet
from the
dirt.
same hole.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if I happen to get another one, it gets packed on top of it,
Right.
And I learned that technique from Mr. DeMarco.
You know,
put some
but
dirt in it.
That's right.
there's new people out there that don't know these techniques.
Yeah.
That's why I
And you know
wanted
what?
to bring it up.
And the reason being, and it's important if you can grab the dirt from the same hole, because that's where that coin came from. Whatever chemical reaction is taking place with that coil, it's a result of what was in that hole. So if you're packing it back in, and pack it, I guess, kind of tight, you don't want the air to get around it, and it'll hang on. You know, it'll kind of preserve. Same thing we do when we're pulling stuff out of the ocean on shipwrecks. We take it out of salt water, we put it right back into the salt water, and that's where it'll sit until we can zap it with electrolysis.
Right.
Which is another question that's going to come up, guys, about electrolysis, not necessarily for cleaning, but for stabilizing. But yeah, and generally I'll have one of my packs on the back of the truck with either a portable electrolysis unit or keep something with dirt. You get something delicate, and you got to keep it in its original situation until you can stabilize it however you can stabilize it.
Well, you're also blocking it from the oxygen.
Yeah, you got to keep the oxygen out of it.
A lot of
Sure.
my artifacts that I dig out of the ground, if I want to keep it, if it's in good condition, if I want to preserve it, I do hit it with electrolysis.
Absolutely.
And that's the fact, not only to clean it, but to preserve the artifact, to stop it from corroding further.
That's right.
And that's the purpose behind
Well,
electrolysis.
You probably remember, it wasn't that long ago, they came out with these little tiny clicker buttons, and you would stick it on the rust spots on your car, and you'd click it, and it would stop the rust.
Yes.
And all that's doing is zapping it with
Yep.
a quick voltage of electricity.
That's exactly what it is.
And that's all you do. You don't have to clean it. But if you pull something out of the ground that's delicate, and especially if you can see that it's starting to degrade away,
right,
you want to zap it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have high voltage. You're not using, you don't have to have any kind of fancy metals. If it's a copper coin, if it's a copper relic, I'm generally going to use copper.
Mm-hmm.
If iron's the only thing I'm going to have, I'll use that. But you're just zapping it long enough to get it to penetrate electricity through it, because once you stabilize that core, it's not going to break down anymore. I don't care what state it's in, at what point in time it's in the breakdown process,
Mm-hmm.
but the electrolysis will halt it. It's not going to necessarily make it better. It's not going to bring it back, but it's going to stop it from getting worse.
Yeah.
And you'll notice too, if you got, I found a match vesta where there's the colonial era, post-colonial era wooden match holders, and it was very, very, very thin. And I zapped it, and it again doesn't put the metal back, but where it had been pinholing
Mm-hmm.
got hard. It stabilized the metal, so the metal was
Right.
good. It's still around and not breaking down any further.
Right. So stop the corrosion
Yep.
process, the rusting.
It's super important for probably more important for relics as opposed to coins. Coins will always have some kind of density to them, but like Joe said, you can lose a lot of surface stuff. You can lose surface detail if you allow it to corrode. But your relics, man, will go bad fast. If they're old tin relics, they'll go bad quick once they're out of the ground.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely.
And what's keeping them alive, what keeps it in existence for so long is because that it's buried in the sand. There's no oxygen getting to it.
Right. The process is actually being slowed down because it's in the dirt.
That's right.
So again, 856-899-5180. You got a question about some of the homemade, homeborn remedies that were on the page this week about coin cleaning. And again, another question came up. A guy had found a relic. Exactly what we were just talking about.
Right.
Guy had found a relic.
There you go.
Take the call.
There we go.
Chris Fast.
See if we can get him on.
He's up.
Hey, Chris.
Boys, how we doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
How's it going?
Pretty good, thanks. I have a two-part question for you.
Go ahead, bud.
So, what kind of coin-like objects could I be pulling out of the ground that are like super oxidized? They're super rusty.
I'm gonna put him up on the screen.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that'll come out super oxidized and super rusty is a steel cent. 1943 wheat pennies were made out of steel.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I found them in a very similar spot, and there's a couple of different sizes.
Now, one of the things you got to remember too, because I pulled buffalo nickels, I pulled shield nickels that have been in the ground so long they almost look like they've rusted.
Yeah.
And that it's surface material because the nickel on top is soft. So it almost any coin other than something being silver, and even silver sometimes, and something being gold, if it's in the ground long enough and the the situation it's in, the environment it's in is aggressive enough. It may not have penetrated the coin, but you'd be surprised how many coins can come out looking like they rusted until you actually get them cleaned or start to clean and start seeing some detail on them.
Okay. Yeah, they're even like a little bit bumpy. I don't know if that's normal, but
yeah. Well, copper coins will do that. It's called magnetite, and what happens is if they start to degrade, if the chemicals start to leach into the ground, it's very similar to rust. The chemicals under the patina start to break down and actually bubbles the patina up. It almost looks like it's rusting out from the inside, like cancer on a car.
Yeah.
And the problem with it is that when you'll still see detail when you pull that coin out of the ground, and you may see the date, and you may see a lot of the details on the face of the coin. Remember that if you're seeing that bubble, odds are the detail you're looking at is only in the patina. So when you go to clean that coin or stabilize that coin, you're going to lose a lot of detail.
Yeah, it's going to come right off.
That's the problem. And it's not that it's going to stay there anyway. You're going to lose it anyway. It's just that it's deceiving when you pull it out of the ground and you're looking at the face. And a lot of times it's the date, unfortunately, that disappears on you.
Okay, cool. And then part 2. So knowing that we don't know what they are, what would you suggest to clean them or to try?
If you don't know what they are, they're worthless.
Soap and water.
Always the first thing. Always the first thing is the mildest method, and soap and water. Warm soap, mild dish detergent. I use like an ivory or something like that. Just get the debris that's going to come off almost on its own. Get that off first, and see if you can see any detail. If you think it's copper, if that's not working, and you think it's copper, a couple weeks in olive oil. Okay, olive oil is a fantastic product. It not only will it do a very slow and gentle cleaning of it, it has a tendency to revert the color back towards its original. After that, if you're still not making any kind of progress, you still can't ID the coin. The next step is going to be electrolysis, and very, very low, very, very slow, and you'll guarantee that whatever detail is left on it, you're going to see. But just prepare yourself that anything that if you have that bubbling on the surface of the coin, once it goes into electrolysis, that's going to come off, and probably a lot of detail. It's a unique situation with that kind of problem with the coin. The detail's not really there; it's only contained in the surface material.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because I'm sure there's people out there saying, "Well, why not at this point use hydrogen peroxide?"
Here's the thing with hydrogen peroxide, guys.
But I'm just saying, I know there's people out there that are saying that or thinking that.
All right,
so I'm going to throw it out there.
Here's the thing, and it gets a little complicated. I'll try and make it as easy as I can. If you're using, and hydrogen peroxide by itself isn't necessarily the enemy. The problem is that people aren't using cold hydrogen peroxide; they're heating it up. So if you get a coin that starts to, like Chris is saying, that starts to get these bubbles. Or if you look at some of these old copper coins and they look like they're splitting apart. There's layers of coins that look like they're missing. It's called delamination. So your copper, your hydrogen peroxide on a normal coin, it's not going to do anything at all. You won't see any reaction to it at all. However, drop it on a little cut on your skin, you're going to start to see it foam and expand. That's because peroxide reacts to biologic materials. So stay with me here. So let's say you've got a coin that has been in the ground and it has all these delamination, these layers that's splitting open. Guaranteed that some of this biologic material from the ground has gotten into this coin. It's gotten around it, it's gotten on it, it's gotten in these little fissures and spider cracking. And now you're not only are you putting it in peroxide, you're heating that peroxide. The warm water is going to expand those cracks even more. The peroxide is going to get in and react to the biologic material. And I'm trying to get it from the University of Pennsylvania. We actually have video of these large scents being dropped into hot peroxide and exploding, literally popping. Now, even if it doesn't go to that extreme, that expansion of that hydrogen peroxide is going to make those fissures work. It's going to open up the cracks. It's going to expose it to a lot more potential contaminants. And there's really nothing great about hydrogen peroxide that's good for your coin. Cold on a good coin, it's not going to do anything. It's going to clean just like soap and water is going to clean. But on a delaminated coin, and that stuff is warm, it can do a lot of damage to that coin.
The other thing about peroxide too, when you heat it, it becomes acidic.
Sure, it exposes different acids. You're heating up. You're changing the molecular structure of that thing once it's hot.
Yep, exactly.
That's great, boys. Thanks very much.
No problem, man.
And one thing
You
to
can
keep
send
in
that to me in a transcript, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Actually, I got to check it. Maybe post it someplace.
I'll tell you
Actually,
what.
you can go back and you can rewatch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, there's one thing
Keep
you
up the
want,
good work, fellas.
All right.
well, there's one thing you want to keep in
Thank
mind.
you.
If you do have a copper coin,
Go ahead, just say it
well,
anyway.
if he's got a copper coin and he wants to clean it with warm soap and water, just make sure you use distilled water. Because if you're using tap water from the city, you got chlorine in it. Chlorine is acidic. It'll attack the copper. It'll make it
Chlorine's
turn
the best of
colored.
both worlds, acid and salt.
Yeah.
And as far as detergent, believe it or not, I've had the best luck with Tide.
With Tide.
Yes, specifically Tide.
Mm-hmm.
It's not harsh.
Right.
It's very mild.
It's actually
So
good for the skin too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I keep my
That's-
complexion the way
yeah.
it is. So thanks, Chris. That's a good question, and definitely a topic we want to get to because alongside of vinegar, this peroxide wives' tale it gets spun out of control, and people are using it. And listen, 7 times out of 10, peroxide may do absolutely nothing to your coin.
Yeah.
But there's a couple times out of 10, under the wrong conditions, it's going to destroy your coin. And heating it up is even worse.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a coin. You know,
No,
it could
exactly.
Be a belt buckle. Or
Exactly.
it could be a musket ball or even a gun part. You know, it's
Exactly. This stuff that is caustic is just you want to keep it at bay. There's plenty of stuff that you can use. There's plenty of items that are safe all the way around. And the problem that I keep running into with people I talk to is this instant gratification.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring that up.
Right.
With I want to know what the coin is now.
Exactly.
So why not just drop it in the peroxide? I'll know in 30 seconds.
yeah, and then wait from now, it's a useless piece of metal.
Well, that's the thing too, and I get guys that send me pictures. Well, look how great my coin looks. I put it in vinegar and baking soda, and I'm not debating that it looks great right now, guys. But thank God I have a few people out there that have saved the coins that they've treated with the vinegar, and they sent me the coin. They sent me pictures of these coins, a couple months later, and those are the coins you want to see, guys, because it's going to look great right now. And it's going to look like hell down the road because the coin is going to become impregnated with these chemicals. And once you start degrading as a result of these chemicals, you're not going to fix it. Or most of the time, you're not going to fix it.
Damage is done.
Yeah. So, let's give away some.
But the bottom line is, it's their coin. If they want to clean it that way, by all means.
We can't
best of luck.
force you to listen to us.
Yeah.
And that's why I posted. That's why I posted the free the video of how to build a safe electrolysis unit. Yes, we build them, we sell them. I don't want anybody to think that we're trying to guide you that way. If you don't want to, you don't want any kind of cost for your electrolysis unit, pull down our video, build one for nothing. It's basically the same type of schematic of the ones that we build and sell. It's for your home. It's not portable, but it's going to do the job, and it's going to do the job safely. So we put it out there for nothing for you guys to play with.
Well, I can tell you what I used to use before getting into electrolysis. I used to actually use a DC train.
I was talking to Gene about that. I still use train transformers on my bigger stuff, my bigger tanks, because it's great variable voltage.
Yep, because you can actually see that it's working.
Right.
And you can let it run for a while.
Yep.
And when you start to see it's enough, shut her down.
And when you get good at it, when you get comfortable with it, and you know what to expect, like the machines that I'm building now with the pulse, bang, boom, you can pulse it right there. Boom, you can crack her all the way up and give it a little pulse. And some of these really encrusted coins, it's great for cracking that crust away. But I wouldn't advise play with your Wheaties, play with your Lincoln Cents while you're learning how to use the machine.
Right.
And then practice makes perfect, and you'll get to the point where you're very comfortable with it.
Then you take it a step further and put a multimeter on it.
Well, you put a multimeter on it, or you can have the one like I have in the back room with like 14 different power packs hooked in different ways.
Now I'm gonna give you a little trick of what I used
creation
to do,
there,
and I still do it when I can find them. I go to the flea market a lot. Sometimes you'll find people that have boxes of dirty coins.
Right.
They don't know what they are. They're just and they're coppers.
Yep.
And they'll just throw them in the box, and you pick them up 10 cents, 25 cents a piece.
Yeah.
And then you can play with your unit.
That's
and
right.
adjust it how you want it and get used to how you can clean your coins.
Listen, a copper coin that's not valuable is going to be, you can treat it the same way as a copper coin down the road you're going to get that's going to be valuable.
Right.
But that's where you expect. That's why I said when we were at the University of Pennsylvania, we destroyed thousands of coins, thousands of them, getting to the point where we understood not only would we clean them, we'd saw them in half so we could look at the inside of them. So, yeah, experimentation, guys. Play. The only way to learn is to use it, and you want to use it as inexpensively as you can. So,
Correct.
you know, go get some cheapo coins and play with the machine. So let's give something away.
All right, so I guess that means I gotta get Skype up.
Yeah, I guess it's good.
Before you do that though, I just got a PM from somebody about using electrolysis on buttons.
I have. Absolutely, I have. Here's the thing, and I know a lot of guys have a lot of luck tumbling their buttons, and I got guys that'll argue with me all day long. I'm terrified to do it. I've taken a couple non-valuable flats and I tumbled them, and they've come out fantastic.
I've seen the one guy on YouTube, Bo We Met. He does a lot of Civil War relics and stuff. He uses navel jelly on them.
Yeah, and that's
what a lot of guys use.
A lot of guys use that navel jelly, and I'm skeptical with the navel jelly because I've cleaned brass with it. I cleaned my brass at the police academy with navel jelly, and my brass looked awesome and tarnished in 3 seconds after I was done. I mean, it tarnishes so fast. That's telling me that it's removing layers of metal. That's why I won't use the navel jelly.
Yeah, but if it's still got the gold gilding, it's not getting through the gold.
No, if it's gold plated, then you've got a layer of protection on it. If you're cleaning brass, listen, you're going to use what you're going to use. You're going to use what works for you. Just use it safely.
Right.
Just know that if it's a real old piece and whatever layers of plating or whatever were on top of it and they're gone, you're treating the exposed brass or pewter or whatever the button's made of.
Wait a minute.
The tomback.
Right. I mean, it's just I found a baby face Lafayette cuff button that I didn't know I had. It was actually in my case, and one day when I was driving to a club meeting, with it just vibrating and tapping against the glass,
Right.
It had the outline came out.
Right.
Because that was the deep part, and the dirt had popped out of it.
Right. And it was packed in there, so it looked smooth before the dirt popped out.
Yeah, okay.
Of course.
Oh, good. What have we got in that box over there?
What do we got to give away here?
No, you're not giving my coins away.
No, that's Drew's old shirt.
All right, let's start off the evening with a mind lab.
Except that one. That one looks like it's ripped.
I will poke that one up on the wall somewhere. We got a mind lab finds pouch. We're giving away.
No, that.
Oh yeah, okay, I
the
said.
handle was.
There you go.
All right, guys, we're giving away a mind lab finds pouch tonight to start off the evening.
10 callers. Start now.
And we'll take 10 callers. 856-899-5180. Hit us up. Drew's waiting to work.
Okay,
There you go.
here we go. Ready? 570. Who we got?
John from Greentown?
All right, John from Greentown.
Hey, buddy.
All right, 908. Who we got?
Rich from New Jersey.
Rich from New Jersey. 740. Who we got?
Hey, it's a Dave from Ohio.
All right.
Dave.
All right. 970. Who we got? 970.
Wes Robert from Colorado.
All right. 313. Who we got?
Pam from Michigan.
908. Who we got?
Hi, it's Donna from New Jersey.
Hi, Donna.
573. Who we got?
Dan Richard, St. James, Missouri.
Missouri. We're reaching out there today. 941. Who we got?
Mike Boyles from Bradenton, Florida.
And what was that number there? Which
That's
got?
number 8.
That's number 8. All right.
All right, guys, have a good one.
All right. 856. Who we got?
Nicholas Rangel from New Jersey.
All right, Nick. 814. Who we got?
Kent Davis, Emporium, Pennsylvania.
All right.
That was number 10.
That was number 10.
All
Okay,
right,
we're
we got our
shutting
10.
down.
Let's hit up random.org. And by the way, just so that right now, we topped off at about 20, I think it was 22 and change thousand viewers for last week's show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was good. Good numbers. Good numbers.
And Pam from Michigan gets the Mind Lab Finds.
All right, Pam from Michigan. Congrats, Pam. PM Drewaholic.
Yes, PM me.
Not me. And we'll get that out to you ASAP. So we actually had a couple really good questions to come in that are pretty much for you guys.
Oh, for us guys.
So we'll get to the first one second, because the second question was great. So one of our newbies wrote in. He's not really a newbie. He's been digging for about 2 years. He's got an MXT, but he's been, since the day he got the MXT, he's been working an old school site. And he said easily for the first year on the school site, he was pulling out nothing but trash. And now I'm going to interject here. He's chalking that up to his learning curve. Okay, now, he said after about a year, started pulling silver. Good stuff, routinely. Now, he goes to the site, he's pulling silver, he's pulling old coins, beautiful. So he's now moved. And he's back to pulling nothing but trash. Now, what's he doing wrong? That's what he's asking you. I know the answer, but
Absolutely nothing.
nothing. Right. Go ahead. Tell him.
Because normally you have to get the trash out of the way to get the better stuff. Because the trash is normally on the surface, which is going to mask your target, give you targets signals that are commingled targets, which you're going to consider to be trash anyway. Even if it is a good coin next to a piece of trash, you still got to get one of the two out of the way.
So what you're telling us is that you've done everything exactly right. One, yeah, you probably were on a bit of a learning curve anyway because it was a new machine. You just started out. But you did exactly what you would expect to do. You pulled the junk out of the way, and once you cleared the junk and you've gotten better with your machine, you started pulling silver. So all you've done now that you've moved, you're clearing the trash out again.
Right.
And once you clear that layer of trash out, you're going to go right back in. You're going to start finding the good stuff again.
Well, the other thing you can do is to help combat that problem is sometimes you might want to go with a small coil.
Yeah, well, that definitely
to help separate your targets.
Right.
That's the other option.
Get around your trash
But
a little bit.
99% of the time, if you're in an area that's loaded with trash, guess what? You're going to pull the trash.
And,
For sure.
And then, it depends on the detector. Knowing the MXT the way I do, you're going to have to get the trash out of the way.
Right.
If it was something that has, I'm going to revert to a see-through technology and call it that, then you can get away from digging the stuff that's 3 inches and only digging the stuff that's 6 inches and deeper. Now, that's a technique that a lot of guys use is they won't mess with anything in the first 3 inches.
Right.
Because they feel that that's the clad layer. And the better targets are deeper.
Some cases,
the only thing I'll say in defense of the MXE, I love that. I used it for years. Is out of all the machines I've used, I love the foil rejection on the MXT. That thing tells me it's foil. It's foil. But and a lot of guys get confused with the MXT. Oh, well, no, I've read that it's a multi-frequency machine. It is, but it's really only using one. I mean, to get to a true multi-frequency with whites, you're going to have to move up to the V3i. But you're going to find stuff with that MXT. And if you don't want to go to a smaller coil, if you're staying stock with it and you've learned to read that machine over the past 2 years you've been using it, just know you're going to have to remove that layer of trash on top to get to the good stuff. It's just going to. You're going to do exactly what you did your first year again. And for every time you move to a spot that might be active around that school, it's going to be the same thing again.
How deep are you digging your targets, Drew?
As deep as I can go.
Well, your better targets, how deep are you finding them?
It depends on the site. Some sites they're real shallow. Some sites they're a mixture between shallow and deep. It
depends on how much material they're moving around.
They're moving around,
yeah.
Sure.
Right.
We pulled over that church. We're pulling Indian heads in a field at 8 inches, and then we moved to where we know there was new trash, and we pulled the Civil War miraculous metal at about 2. I don't know. You guys are laughing at that. Apparently, I said something funny.
No.
Oh, never mind. Oh, God. Anyway. So that was good. Thank you for that question. We just have some of the best fans.
Gotta love those Canadians.
Okay, and this one, and it's great that you're here there, Joe Farrell, because we got.
Good thing for Big Blue.
We've got. I see people posting beach finds now, more finds than in the summertime. Why?
I'll let Joe answer that first, and then I'll answer it.
Yeah. Why, Joe? Why are we pulling more? I know you're pulling more rings out right now than I ever pulled out during the summer months.
Actually, I've pulled 2 rings since August 31st this month, and I honestly I think it's just like the way the fall tides run, and the winds we've had. We've had east winds for a while.
Are you noticing?
But honestly, Frank, in all, I can't really say for sure because I haven't been hitting the beach
right
as many years as guys like Joe. All I know is my finds are up. In the last 30 days, I found more gold than I found all summer
long.
But that's probably a combination of me getting to know the machine that much better, and also, the way the fall tides run and stuff like that.
Sure.
And we've had east winds out the wazoo.
So, Joe,
3-4 days a week.
Why are we pulling more targets off this time of year, off the
I'm
beach?
going to say the biggest reason is a change in the fall tide.
Now, are you guys noticing cuts?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Big cuts.
One of the big things, guys, and I noticed that some of the rings, some of the jewelry that I've been seeing pulled off this beach isn't stuff that was dropped this summer.
No, it's old.
So as we get into the fall, we get into the winter, the winds change, guys, and it starts to pull sand off the beach as opposed to dumping sand on the beach, and you get these big cuts. And when you're digging, if you get a cut that's a foot deep, that's a foot worth of time that you're going down deeper, and you're finding stuff that may have been out of reach of your coil. It's pulling sand off. It's exposing stuff that you couldn't reach in the summertime, and stuff that may have been dropped.
I'm trying to remember what it's called. Is it called ebb and tide? Just the way it works, because in the summertime,
Ebb and flow, yeah.
Ebb and flow is north, and then in the fall, it turns around and goes south.
Right.
Which takes more sand off.
That's all it is. It's just like if you're in an old site in the dirt and somebody comes through and takes 6 inches of stuff off the dirt off the top. You're now reaching stuff that's below it. Stuff that may have been out of reach of your detector, prior to it being exposed. And that's the way the beach works. The beach, exposes more stuff in the colder months. And then these guys are all over it, pulling it off the beach. So there's more stuff coming off that beach than I found this summer. That's for damn sure.
Well, and the first person that ever told me about, watching for that kind of stuff was Brian Mayer.
Right, Brian, who we will get him on eventually, at some point in time. We have to kidnap him.
What are the ripples you guys always talk about?
Ripple troughs.
Ripple troughs.
That's actually where
money traps. That's what I call money traps.
The surf goes up. It could come in from two different directions because it's coming around a jetty, and it'll meet in one spot and roll back, and it causes a trough. Now, once you start getting a trough, it actually flows down the beach that way, and that's all your water trying to escape from behind the waves or in front of the waves to the beach.
So if it's pulling jewelry or money or whatever off the beach, it's going to settle in that
Sometimes
trap.
It traps it right down through that groin.
Yeah. There's a whole different science to beach than there is to dirt, guys.
There's a whole lot of different names for things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of almost remind me of a butt crack when you see them. They come in like
Yeah,
that.
right.
It's like,
well, we went to Atlantic City early in the year.
Been looking at a lot of butt cracks?
yeah, female.
We went to Atlantic City early in the year, and there was a ripple trough, and the first thing that pulled off the beach was a silver earring, right? They're stuck in that ripple trough, so it's great. It's a great trap for stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a whole science. These guys are a whole language.
Yeah, that's what they call
lifestyle.
I think.
Yeah, but you know what? And that's why I didn't get permission. I know, but I started Beach and Water Group off of Detect America.
I saw it
because there's a lot of people out there who have a lot of questions when it comes to beach hunting.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've actually grabbed some of the best beach hunters around that I know, and they're in the group. So, if you have questions, go over there and visit.
Yeah, for sure. And as we Good. I know we're going to start pounding dirt questions, but as we get around to the warmer temperatures again, and even a topic for any show one night, we got to get some of these guys together and really talk some of the language of the beach, because I don't know. I go out. Listen, I dig 4 blocks on the same beach every year. That's where I find my stuff.
Yeah, but then when you stop, everybody else starts.
Yeah, they're finding twice as much stuff there that I found all summer long.
But I mean, I'm still seeing a lot of great finds coming out. I mean, I get an opportunity to see a lot of finds from different people because I deal with so many different people. And it's not just the Jersey coast; it's up in the New England states. Right. It's down below South Carolina. Mm-hmm. You up and down the East Coast. I'm seeing pictures of people finding jewelry.
Some great. I mean, the finds all over the page have elevated. Like Joe said, the past 30 days, the finds have definitely elevated. There's more. There's more stuff coming out of the ground that I was looking for in the summertime, and not finding it's coming out now.
I'm seeing heavier stuff starting to come out now.
Yeah, there's some nice hunks of metal coming out.
There's some rings that have come out that were you're pushing. What was it? 13 grams.
Yeah, beautiful.
Somebody, I did see somebody found one. Wasn't that? Well, I know Brady found a nice one. That big one he found a couple weeks ago. That's kind of when it all got started. Yeah. But you're right. Somebody posted a monster that they found the other day. It was like a 13 grammer. I mean, and it's heavier stuff that's coming up, and I think it's because of the tides. I had a pretty good one a couple weeks back. It was heavy.
Yeah, mine came out. All my rings came out of freaking New England Lake.
Yeah. Hey, at least you're getting out.
I think it's a lot combination of all that, and people have more time on the beach during the day now too. Yeah. You don't have the crowds down there, so you can pretty much go wherever.
Yeah, you're not trying to get yourself off the beach by 9 o'clock.
And your daytime hours, you can see what you're doing, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. During the summertime, I don't like the beach. During the daytime because there's so many people down there. Yeah. But personally, I like to go at night.
What else we got to give away over there?
We got a hat. Let's give away a DA hat.
A DA hat?
We got a couple of them sitting up here. Just grab one of them.
A camouflage one. How's that?
So we're going to give away a Detect America hat. Now, let's remind everybody that Drew and myself are going on a little road trip across country. And if you happen to see the vehicle, if you happen to see our big red DA truck, don't drive us off the road. Flash your lights or follow us to a road stop, and we're going to have some DA gear with us. So anybody we meet along the way, we're going to hand out some DA gear. We're going to do a couple shows of sorts from the road. And how many callers are going to take for the hat?
10.
All right, 10 callers for the Detect America logo hat.
Camouflage hat.
Ready?
Go for it.
All right. 301, who we got?
Bruce Carter, Cumberland, Maryland.
All right. 814, who we got? 814, who we got?
Sean Showalter, Louisburg, PA.
Hey, Sean.
All right. Oh, dang. 512, who we got?
Ali in Austin, Texas.
Ali. 856, who we got?
Ray from Jersey.
Who was that? Who was that, Jersey? 856? I think it was Ray.
Ray.
301, who we got?
Arlene Carter, Cumberland, Maryland.
570, who we got? 570.
You got John from Greentown?
John from Greentown. All right. Add Chris Fast. 817, who we got?
Wendy Sharp, Texas.
Wendy.
Texas. Got her.
Yes.
Gotcha, Wendy.
941, who we got?
Mike Wallace from Bradenton, Florida.
Florida.
Oh, good. Good. Thank you for calling, Wendy, too, because you reminded me something.
814, who we got?
Kent Davis, Emporium, Pennsylvania.
Kent, you made number 10 twice in a row.
All right.
All right. I'm going to shut her down. Do not disturb. Okay, so back to you're gonna be on the road. Don't run you off the road.
Yeah, so
Say
you
you're
guys have
number
it.
one.
We're gonna and we'll be posted along the way, guys. So if we have the opportunity, either on our way out or on our way back, to stop and meet some of the people, maybe get a couple pictures, maybe dig. But if you see us, hit us up. We're gonna be having some gear with us, and we're gonna hand out some gear.
Well, this particular piece of gear is going to Mike Boyles in Florida.
All right, Mike.
All right.
So-
Good for you, bud.
Mike, PM me a shipping address so I can get that out to you.
So Drew and I are leaving. Definitely before the show next week. So we still have to figure out how we're going to orchestrate that.
Because
Well-
there might be a show next week, or there may not be.
Well,
a show next
we
week.
could
don't know how it's
definitely
gonna-
do it. We got to pull over and do it, for a half hour. We'll do a show, but I think we're gonna have to orchestrate it differently. But this is coming with me.
Yeah, I would suggest it.
So that we can work that out. Now I wanted to touch on and so we'll give away stuff along the way. We're gonna do our best to do some kind of show while we're gone. And like I said, if you see us, hit us up. We'll post our route. We'll post where we are, and hopefully we'll get to meet a few of you people while we're on our way out west. And then what we're doing out there, where we're digging, I'm sure we'll be posting some videos and some pics and stuff while we're doing it. Now, Wendy Sharp called in for the contest and reminded me of a post that she sent me that I really want to touch on before we're done for tonight. It's about electrolysis. Now, she saw a post somewhere else about somebody was posting the brine solution that they made up for their electrolysis. And it was salt, it was garlic salt for whatever reason, and Comet Cleanser. Guys, listen, I can't emphasize this enough. As safe as electrolysis is, and we know that when you use stainless steel, and I can never remember the name of the gas that it produces, when you're breaking stainless steel down into its elements, okay, it produces a pretty nasty gas. Now, the low voltages that you use in electrolysis, that gas is pretty much negated with any kind of ventilation. I'm not telling you not to worry about it. Just be aware of it. But when you start to put chemicals like Comet Cleanser, which has chlorine in it, and you break chlorine down to its elements, this is stuff that can hurt you.
Yeah, it's phosgene gas.
Okay,
actually.
you start getting chlorine gas, and then other chemicals that you don't listen. When I was experimenting at the college with this, I tell these guys we were using oils, we were using alcohol, and in the early days I've set my brine tank on fire a couple times, but it's not the fact that of what you can see happening; it's what you can't see. So your brine solution does not clean your coins. The brine solution has nothing to do with the cleaning. The brine solution conducts electricity from one end of your tank to the other end of your tank. Unfortunately, one of the reactions is you're breaking that water, you're breaking those chemicals apart in the brine. You don't want to be using caustic chemicals, especially chemicals like chlorine. Listen, bad things can happen to you.
Just give you a heads up with chlorine. Chlorine gas was used in World War One
Exactly.
to kill people.
You don't want that.
Don't do it. It's a deadly gas. It's poison.
We mixed.
They called it phosgene gas.
Right.
Its main component was chlorine, and it's very toxic.
Anybody who has a swimming pool in the summertime and you pull the top of that HTH container off and you take in one breath of that stuff, imagine that concentrated.
That's a nerve
Even
agent.
more.
It's a nerve gas.
Exactly. And so your brine solution is just that. It's brine. It's nothing more than a conductor of electricity. Nothing you put into your brine is going to clean that coin. If anything, it's going to hurt the coin. You only want basic elements and that will conduct the electricity. And the reason I emphasize the salt solution, the sea salt, and the baking soda is because these break down easily. Sea salt dissolves away completely, and the brine solution, the baking soda will suspend in that solution. So it's just giving you a pathway for the electricity to get from one end to the other. It does not clean the coin. So don't start putting chemicals in there that you don't know what's going to happen if you elementalize them.
And sea salt doesn't have iodine.
And sea salt does not have iodine. Again, we don't ever want iodine. Iodine's bad for your coins. It's probably not good for you either. If you breathe it. Well, if you breathe it. You know, I'm not taking my iodine dropper and dropping it in my nose.
No.
I'll get my iodine through my table salt when I eat.
You can take tablets, though.
There you go. So just that's all. That's the only thing I want to tell you. The electrolysis it's not hard to achieve it. It's very easy to achieve electrolysis. What we want to do is control it and make it safe. And to you guys that are putting organic, exotic chemicals into your brine solution, you're accomplishing nothing for the coin, and you could potentially be hurting yourself. So just be aware of that, guys.
Anything else you got?
That was my last question for tonight. The other topic we're not getting to, right, Gene? We're going to hold off on that.
Yeah, we're going to hold off on
We're
that.
going to hold off on that.
Until I have to go ahead.
Right. Yeah. We got other stuff brewing behind the scenes out here, but we're going to hold off on that till we have our confirmation.
Let's clarification.
Yeah, clarification. Yeah. So let's touch on a couple of other things we got to touch on. One is some of the best pictures for the calendar contest have come in this week. Some awesome pictures. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to name names, but I've seen two that, as far as I'm concerned, they've already got my vote for being on the calendar that came in this week. Remember, that ends Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving evening. That's the deadline for the pictures for the calendar contest. The rules are no X-rated pictures.
True.
No advertising, so don't put, Joe's Poultry Farm on your T-shirt. Take a picture of it. No advertising will appear, and you have to have a picture of your metal detector. It has to be in the photo. What you do with that picture, you guys want to get creative, go for it. I've seen some stuff with Photoshop. It was pretty awesome. Not always a good thing. Could hurt you, could help you, but just so we're aware that Thanksgiving, it ends. We'll pick the winners of the week after Thanksgiving, and we will announce the winner of the calendar contest on our birthday show number 2, the week of January 3rd, when the TV show becomes 1 year old.
Hey, let's show off one of our new toys.
I thought you were going to say you're going to give away one. You give away yours.
Hell no. Let's show off one of our new toys and tell everybody where we got it.
This are new toys that are going across country with me and Joe. And this is the Piranha.
Serrated on both sides.
And I mean, they're aggressively serrated.
I'm waiting for him to cut his finger on it.
I know. I would, but he keeps throwing it at my finger as I'm touching it. And these are out of our buddy Joe DeMarco's shop, metaldetecting.com.
And who are these made by, Joe?
They are made by Predator Tools.
So we are
wicked little tool. Great root cutter.
There's another accessory you can get for these little rubber pads for the feet here.
Yeah, we don't want you to hurt his delicate toes.
Oh, my tootsies. And they come in D handle or T handle.
And hopefully they're going to come in short handles.
I have the D handle, though.
I'd love to have a short one.
There you go, folks. Get a little close view of it.
Yeah, we showed these last week on our gadgets. Gadget show.
Yep.
For different digging tools.
Right.
Very aggressive piece of equipment. It's perfect for the woods. Cuts right through the roots like putting a hot knife through butter.
I actually was using it to dig my fish pond.
That's one way to do it. All steel construction. Excellent welding.
Yeah, it's just you know what, for some of the digging, and I love the Lesche and the Samson, but for some of the digging that has to be aggressive, especially when it's cold and you're cutting through roots.
Or if you guys that hunt in the woods.
That's a piece of equipment. I can't wait to try her out.
Or unplowed farm fields like we have in
exactly.
That one area by me.
In January when it's got a crust on it like about that thick.
Yeah.
So what should we do? Should we give away one more thing before we close the doors for this evening?
Sure, why not?
Look how happy he is. He can't wait to give away stuff.
I still got to mail out Tuesday night stuff.
And listen, and why that comes up, just so everybody knows, during the time that me and Drew are away, if we give stuff away during this trip for whatever shows we can manage to put together, just be aware, they're not going out the following day. They won't be going out till we get back, and we're going to be gone a good 10, 12 days, if not more. Yeah, 10. So, depends on how lost we get.
How many people invite you out detective on
I
your
got-
route?
I just got a GPS for my truck. It's like that big.
Depends on how many strip clubs we pass on the way home.
Yeah.
That would be your idea there. Oh, maybe.
So, okay, so what are we going to give away? Let's see.
I don't know, but we're gonna take 10 callers or whatever it is.
Let's give away. A hat.
Yeah, why not?
Let's give away a hat. We're going to give away a Mind Lab hat. And anybody that's out there wants a Mind Lab hat, you know that they are, I swear they're harder and harder to come by anymore. Big guys think I'm kidding. My Mind Lab hat is in plastic. I'm not wearing it.
I've got 6 of them.
I know. It's funny how I used to have 6 more.
And people that are wondering why they're not getting their hat.
Yeah, it's because hit Drew up at his home where his Mind Lab hat. So we're going to do another 10 for Mind Lab hat. 856-899-5180 for the Mind Lab ball cap, guys.
All right, ready?
Let's go.
All right, 301. Who we got?
Arlene Carter.
33 days tobacco free.
And you know where that's at, right?
Look,
You
Joe.
do.
Oh, calm.
908. Who we got?
I don't even miss him.
Hi, Donna from New Jersey. Have a nice trip.
All
Thanks,
right.
Donna.
331. Who we got?
Kathleen.
Again?
Again.
No.
No, your name. We couldn't hear you, bud.
All right. Correct. Kathleen.
Okay, Craig.
All right.
Thanks.
814. Who we got?
Kent Davis from Portland, Pennsylvania. Not even number 10 this time.
Yeah, see, you're getting better with that phone.
All right. Let's see. 907. Oh, I got to get you up here first. 970. Who we got?
Wes from Colorado.
Okay, Wes.
All right. 717. Who we got?
Kip Henry from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Kip.
Gotcha, Kit.
570. Who we got?
John from Greencott.
Gotcha.
Okay.
603. Who we got?
I don't even miss cigarettes, guys. I'm
John
smoking
from New
three.
Hampshire.
Triple.
John
Gotcha.
from Hampshire. 443. Who we got?
Leo Pollock, Baltimore, Maryland.
All right, Leo.
Leo.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Gotcha.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Jay Cook. Thanks for the phone call, bud. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
941. Who we
I
got?
think we all will.
Mike Moores from Benton, Florida.
All right.
Mike, you're number 10.
That's it, right?
Yep.
Number 10. All
Okay,
right.
guys, then we're going to hit up random.org.
And caller number 9, Leo from Maryland. So,
Congrats, Leo from Maryland. PM Drewaholic, your info, and we will get the Mind Lab hat out to you ASAP. Just a note, guys, we've got some guests coming up in the future. We've got, I guess I can say it. Yeah, we got Mike Scott from Dig Wars and Fisher Electronics going to be calling in. They got some new machines coming up. We've got Trevor from Coil Tech will be calling in. We're going to do soon. I'm not sure the exact dates yet. We got a couple other good guests. Until I lock them down, I won't tell you who they are.
Mhm.
But so stay tuned. And the cooler months are going to be happening here on the show.
You've got me every week.
And Joe's here all the time. He keeps saying he wants to send out autographed pictures, and nobody's hitting him up. I don't know why.
Well, I'll have some news in the coming weeks.
Awesome.
My lab event, things going on with us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things going forward, moving on. And a lot of them I can't talk about yet, but they're coming.
Good stuff in the works. The Tuesday Night Live video show. Probably won't be starting until me and Drew get back. But that's coming. I actually got a couple of good videos in. Send your videos to the Detect America Live page. Send the links. I'll go through them. And the Tuesday Night Coin Show will be going live on the air when we get back. Your videos will be posted. We're going to pick, best video of the night. We got some prizes, some coins to give away. It's going to be a lot of fun. Listen, we put cat video up there. We do anything we want to do on Tuesday nights. So that'll be coming very, very soon. I think we're about ready for that, but we're not going to be here. So.
I already got the question. What My Lab event? That would be the one in Atlantic City.
Okay, that's
I'm
how I sure. I thought maybe it was a different one.
No. I'm waiting on a date and confirmation. I did send an email to them last week, trying to get confirmation because I want to move forward, get the word out. Last year was really successful, but they missed the opportunity because they didn't get the word out till late.
And any of you guys who haven't been to a Mind Lab event, once this thing gets announced, do yourself a favor, block off a couple days of time to go down there. It's a ball.
I had a blast.
It's a ball when we can find a spot to do the radio show from.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that'll change this year. We'll definitely change it. But it's a ball. It's a fantastic time. You're in Atlantic City. It's fantastic anyway. The prizes that the coins you're pulling off the beach, the prize that Mind Lab steps up and gives away is just phenomenal. So once this thing's announced, block out the time and try and make it down to the Mind Lab event.
Well,
we're there every year, and it's a ball.
Right. When you talk about it, I mean, one of the biggest things that I heard after the fact was we gave away 10 machines on 2 days.
Yep.
So we gave away roughly 20 machines.
Hey Frank.
That's right. Actually, we gave away
About the
12
2
machines. So we gave away 2 machines.
Yeah.
We gave away 2 CTX 3030s last year during the event as well.
We kind of touched on buttons a little bit, but I just got another PM
Go ahead.
about cleaning 2-piece buttons.
Let me just, not that I'm an expert on cleaning 2-piece buttons. I have used electrolysis on some of the nice copper buttons, and I've used it with some success. One of the methods that guys use to stabilize coins, stabilize artifacts, and stabilize buttons is high heat, is flash heat. Coins, I don't recommend it. You'll change the color of the coin. I actually will flash forge some of my heavier artifacts. It does the same thing as stabilizing the core as electrolysis, but it's very, very fast, and it actually makes the metal stronger. However, that being said, do not flash forge 2-piece buttons. They will explode. If they have moisture in them, they will explode. And I have a little burn mark on my arm to prove it.
It's 2 different materials.
2 different materials, and the gas expands so fast that
Pop.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. It's like a firecracker.
I tumbled buttons? I have tumbled buttons. I tumbled a ton of flats. They came out beautiful. I tumbled a couple of flats that we found up at our spot near Philly that had the checkerboard pattern, and they actually came out great. I'm a little weary with the 2-piece, the hollows, but I don't know. What do you think?
I still do the whole soap and water and
Yeah, I mean that's the first step.
You know what? To be honest with you, the majority of like the Civil War buttons that I've ever found, there's really not a whole lot to clean. They, depending on the farm field, the anhydrous acid or the anhydrous ammonia that the farmers use, they really eat those buttons away pretty bad.
And the ones that we pulled out that were cleanable really didn't take a heck of a lot more than some warm soap and water.
Yeah.
But the couple that I've electrolysis, first of all, I've only done electrolysis with solid flats. And it's kind of like a coin, guys. If they're copper, it works kind of like a coin. But the 2 pieces, I don't risk it. They're delicate. If you are lucky enough to pull, an infantry button out of the ground that's in 1 piece, it's thin as can be. I mean, you could damage it so easily. So maybe just a little warm water and soap and do very, very low to them.
I've got 2 Civil War buttons that I dug at a local place that I've been hunting. I've taken you there. I've taken Joe there. A couple other friends have been there with me. And I've dug some Civil War buttons off from old uniforms. And the only thing I used was hot soapy water in the toothbrush.
Well, even though they're thin now, they were quality when they were made. So they've held up fairly good.
Yeah.
Just that, man, those little shields, guys, just to give you a little heads up, those little tiny shields on those buttons will pop right through. You touch it too hard, you'll have a perfectly shield-shaped hole in your button.
Yeah. All I've used was soap and water and a toothbrush.
That's all. That's pretty much it for those kind of
now,
buttons.
if you get the 2-piece that's got iron on the back and the brass on
brass.
the front, they're the tough ones. Most of the time, when that backing starts corroding up on that iron, it's pretty much done. I've got one. I've got a couple of them that I've tried to use electrolysis on it, and I was unsuccessful with it.
There's too much going on with those mixture metals, and if it gets hot,
Again, yeah, like you said, it can explode.
Yeah, and trust me, I got a burn mark on my arm to prove it. They will pop on you. So
Yeah.
just be careful with your dome buttons, any of the buttons that are hollow.
Yeah. Just wear protective gear if you're going to
Yeah.
try it. You know, put some safety glasses on or something. So that
And
way
don't put
you
your
don't hurt
silver
yourself.
chains on the polishing wheel.
No. No, that doesn't work too well.
It doesn't work for pirates either.
No. But you can use maybe a stiff bristle brush, maybe plastic. But you know, I have yet to find anything that actually works on them.
Well, guys, I think that's it. We will definitely have some type of show going on Friday night. Maybe from the road, maybe from Joe's shop. We don't know yet.
We'll see.
But thanks for being with us tonight. Me and Drew are on the road. Check this out. We will be posting along the way. And we'll talk to you next week, guys. Get out there and detect, America.
Bye!
33 days tobacco free. I don't even miss it, guys. Yeah, that's gonna let a secret out of me. Hey, kill that. Kill that.